I'm Ali Miller. I am co-founder and investor in CoolZone. And in this short 20 minutes, I want to try and inspire you to come and talk to us and find out more about what we do. It's quite a bold statement to say that we are experts in all of our areas, and we have a personal motivation in what we did. We created our company based on the fact, the personal motivation that my son, at the age of 2, developed type 1 diabetes. And being an electronic engineer, having studied at university in electronic engineering, I was not happy with what the hospital was saying to me in terms of how I should be monitoring an insulin to my son. I wasn't happy with this once every few hours in the day taking blood tests. I wanted to know continually what was happening so I could make good judgments on how to keep him safe. So I looked at the market, and I couldn't find anything much available. But there was a company in early stage in the US that was developing a constant monitoring system for diabetes. And I got in touch with them, and I started trialing their early products. And they flew over and filmed us. And over time, my son became IoT connected, one of our first IoT connected devices. But that didn't stop there. We had a problem with the insulin in the fridge, the insulin that is life-saving for a diabetic. And on several occasions, I lost the insulin. It's sensitive to temperature. The proteins denature if they're frozen. And particularly in the cold period of the winter, when the ambient temperature was down, unbeknown to me, the fridge was freezing at the back, and insulin was ruining. And in the heat of the summer, we lost the circuit within the house. And for about 2 weeks, the insulin was kept at hugely high temperatures. And again, I had to throw it away. So over the years, we've moved on. We're not just in temperature. We're now monitoring anything. And we are experts in sensors, networking, software, support. I say support because we have our own, like what we call Houston Mission Control System that manages all the deployment of sensors and all the support of those sensors in the field. We're continually innovating and investing in R&D. We won a multi-million Horizon H2020 grant for our project, what we were developing, and the impact that had on reducing energy and reducing waste. And we also listen to our customers, and our customers feed us back information, which we then feed into our products. With all that going on in the background, we make it simple for our customers. We hide all the difficult stuff, and we produce a product that's really easy to install, very affordable. You don't need a lot of expertise. You don't have to have been involved in any monitoring before, and you can self-install, or we'll install for you. So what do we do? So we extract data from the world around us in the most reliable way. We make our own physical devices. We're a manufacturer. We designed our own sensors. Our sensors are multi-purpose. But we also recognize the need that people don't want to have multiple systems. So they don't want to be limited on what they can monitor. So we're not going to make every sensor in the world. So we've integrated into our platform hundreds of other vendors who in turn have tens or whatever of their own sensors that monitor all kinds of things. So that's all integrated into the platform. We can ingest data via cellular. We have many cellular connected devices, but our favorite is LoRaWAN. That's our main area. It's long range, low power. They're battery-powered devices, and they don't have the limitations of current monitoring devices out there. There's many devices that claim they boast hundreds of meters of range. Well, in reality, when you put that into maybe a fridge or a freezer, and you then can barely get across a lab or a restaurant, our sensors you can put in and go through multiple floors and across the building. And you don't need repeaters. You just maybe need, in a very large building, maybe 1 or 2 gateways to send the data up into the internet. We also got involved many years ago in integrating OEM devices. So we have companies who want to have intelligent devices and have dumb devices, and they want them to be part of our platform. An example of that is part of the Ali Group, a company called Falcon, who make all kinds of kitchen equipment. So they do, for example, an intelligent trolley for food serving in hospitals, where they have this trolley that has all the food in it in fridges. Then they start to program it. The fridges turn into ovens. Then they can serve it. They can do tests for HACCP on food probe. So we've connected all that devices with all the parameters that offers. But they also have some dumb devices like fat fryers and things. We've integrated those. So it's induction hobs, fat fryers, basically anything within the range. It's important that we also integrate data from other sources through our APIs. So we have a standardized API. So any other information that customers want to bring in and hold within our system, we can do that. We can also ingest information via PDFs and CSVs. We've got customers that have data loggers, dumb data loggers, that they want to move to our system, but they don't want to lose all that data. So again, we can scrape the information from that type of source. And we can do this in a static environment or on the move. I put down some of the key things that were mentioned in Chilventa as the purpose of the reason for this whole exhibition. I put those down there, and we do touch on all of these areas. We are about, particularly as you said with our H2020 grant, we got that because we were about reducing energy, reducing waste, making people more sustainable, pointing out areas where you're using more energy that you didn't know that you can avoid by maybe doing some maintenance or making some process changes. In circular economy, increasing the lifetime of equipment. We've got customers before they used our platform where they would throw out devices because they came to end of life and they thought that they were doing badly, but actually they were doing much better than the device that they kept. Indoor air quality, well, we've done a lot with that, particularly with COVID, all of the CO2 monitoring, but we have a whole load of sensors for indoor air quality. Indirect cooling, an example we use MRI machines that are indirect cooled, and we have hospitals that are using our equipment to look at the indirect cooling, monitor it, just because if it went wrong, it's a very expensive device to break. And IT security, very important. We take it really seriously. I've got a short slide on that later. But if anybody is interested in IT security, you're welcome to talk to. We have experts in that area. This is a slide I put up. I just briefly putting this up. I presented at Ecomondo of 2 or 3 years ago on renewable, circular economy, renewable energy. Was invited there by the Horizon grant team. And it's a big old problem. It's a big old set of numbers up there. And on the left here, that was then, not now, that was then, and growing to estimated these kinds of numbers in terms of cooling units out there. You can make a difference, aggregational, small changes aggregated up make a difference. Even if you're just small scale, just even not cooling something as much as you need to do. Many of our customers, before they take our products, particularly with freezers, they're overcooling because it's easy. It's not going to spoil if it's minus 25, 26 degrees. We've got a customer that their contract with their customers for holding their biomedical samples, they only had to cool to minus 10. That kept the product safe. And yet, when they put our sensors in, they were cooling to nearly minus 30 or above in some areas. And every degree you take it down, pull it down away from ambient, you're increasing the cost exponentially. So what does our system look like? Well, here's an example of our cool zone sensor, one of our cool zone sensors. We designed it to look nice and non-technical, a little bit like an Apple product. They're really easy to fit. Literally, you can put them in freezers and fridges, as I just have here. They have various variants. They've got external probes. They do lots of intelligent things. And they hold data and automatically transmit data when they come back into reach of a gateway, so it can be used disassociated from a building or any other communication. I'll come back onto that later. It transmits into a small device like a sort of router you might have at home that translates the protocol from the RF that's being transmitted up into the internet. That just literally requires a power socket in the wall, and it boots up within 2.5 minutes. This is all then fed into our back end, where we store all the data, we do lots of analytics, we produce the alarms based on the conditions that the customer has set, and we display everything on various different forms within our dashboard. People have different ways of wanting to look at things. If you're a large multinational, you probably want a map view so you can see where there's issues. Otherwise, you might want to look at all your devices, or you might want to look at a KPI dashboard with the key metrics. Who are our customers? Well, we have customers all around the world. I said we try and make it easy. We do make it easy. So for an example of making it easy, there are some customers in some locations that we've never met. And an example about 5 years ago, was a company in America, in New York, that called us up. They'd had abortive attempts at using constant monitoring from real-time monitoring from other people. And so they called us up. They wanted to measure temperature, various ranges, and energy, and various things. So they bought a sample of our devices. We shipped them over. Within the day they cleared customs, they installed them by midday. And then within a month, they decided to throw out all their existing equipment and replace with us. They've rolled us out across 14 states in America, and then they brought all it back, because they're global, they brought us back into Europe within their company. So I've just got 4 slides on the sort of main areas that we deal with. Food, retail, hospitality, manufacturing, catering. And what I want to do is, I'm not going to talk about it particularly. I've just put a few examples of things we do. I'm just going to mention an example of a customer or two in each of these. So in this area, we've been rolling out across KFC throughout their equity stores and their franchises, putting in systems into their defrosters, into their walk-ins, into their fridges and freezers, their drawers, their hot holdings, security system, that kind of thing, leak detection. And it has to be quick. The equity stores get told what to do by KFC, but the franchises, they sort of, so it has to be, when they've been encouraged to take our system, it has to be quick. We can go in and install a KFC store in an hour to an hour and a quarter from start to finish. In laboratory, pharma, and life sciences, we do a lot with, we have our own CO2 high concentration sensor for incubators for cell growth. We do a lot of secondary monitoring of the gases that are fed to the labs. We do temperature that extends down to -196 for liquid nitrogen for long-term storage of products, -80s as well. We won a contract in Australia. We were actually heard about us quite late in the game. It was a government-led contract for the Pfizer rollout across 250 locations in Australia. They heard about us quite late in the game. They'd been looking around. We won the contract. We shipped out to 250 locations. We didn't go there. Customer installed. Closer to home, we have all the laboratories in Charité Vivantis in Berlin. All their hospital laboratories are equipped with CoolZone. Vehicles, warehouse, storage. I want to just mention about vehicles. Because this sensor can store thousands of readings, and we developed a service that makes retrieval of that really easy, so there's no manual intervention. You can put our sensors into a vehicle. You can have one of our gateways plugged in, wired into the 12-volt supply of the unit, or we have cigarette lighter adapters if it's a sort of temporary situation. You can monitor in real time the products that you're transporting around. If you don't want to and you can have GPS tracking with that as well. If you don't want to have that and you just want to know if the product's safe when you've arrived, then you can, as soon as you get in range of the gateway, this will automatically send the data back. So you never miss any data, and you can make intelligent decisions about what happened in that journey. Oh, and I want to say, for a company that's using that, Flash and Post, who are bought by Dr. Utker for $1 billion or €1 billion last year, had been using monitoring of another system. They weren't getting on with it, and they've swapped out all of their monitoring for CoolZone, and they're using this for in-vehicle, for transport as well. Indoor-outdoor requirement, I've been given the 5-minute warning, so I'm going to be quick. We've done an example of a customer here. We have a customer who's doing very interesting things, building meat from single cell. So you just take a small biopsy from an animal and you grow meat from that. They're using us for all kinds of differential pressure and pH for water, for the waste products and things like that. So I'm going to talk quickly now because I've literally probably got 3 minutes. So how do we present the data? It's sent up to our CoolZone platform, and you can receive that on a computer. We've got companies who have tablets outside of laboratories or in restaurants or wherever they have tablets on the wall, but you don't need that. You get alerts sent to you, push notifications, SMS, email on your phone. You can also, it's fully mobile friendly, so you can use everything on your phone. We can also push out to any third-party system. We're integrated with a lot of workflow systems who want to be able to ingest the data into their side. Alerting, two types of alerting. Alerting in real time, what's happening here and now. What can I do to make a difference right now so I don't waste product? I've got, I don't know, a door open in a walk-in and I'm burning energy for risk of wasting product as well. I mean, there's lots and lots of examples. But real time, what can I do now that's something that I can actually do something about to stop it happening? And we have detected millions of incidents for our customers. And then alerting on trends. We've got billions of data points. We use that with machine learning to look at trends, to be able to work out what is about to happen. Have you suddenly started to use more energy in this refrigerator than you had before? This is without an energy monitor. Are you using more relative energy? Hence, is there a problem? We care about security. We've got a pen tester in the team. We know what we're doing. We can operate entirely independent of a customer network if needed, but we also have people in forensic for crime, National Health Service and everything and airports who've scrutinized us and taken our product. So our mission, I keep getting the 2-minute sign now. Our mission is we are continuing to innovate to deliver increasing value to our customers. Continuing with the key things, we want to make it affordable, reliable, simple to use, install quickly, no fuss, and fully compliant. So, if you would like to be informed about the things in your world that you currently don't have visibility of, please come and talk to us. If you're a manufacturer of equipment and would like to integrate your product into our range, or if you're just curious, and I'm just going to tell you which stand we're on because I just now have momentarily, it's stand 107 in Hall 5. So please come and see us.